This is the review of the SwitchBack Haldor Pro. To give you a quick summary, this was a really responsive, buttery, comfortable, good, all-around binding. We compared this against one of our favorites, and it hung in there really well. I mean, it did a lot of things well against our beloved Union Strata, and that's what's so fun about getting bindings for an extended demo. These high backs, let me put this back all nice and pretty, have a nice twist to them. You don't really need the high back rotation as much as you would think. This has a lot of unique things going on for it. Almost everything is toolless. You can take this whole thing apart.
You can make this a whole new binding.
Yeah, these are the Legos of bindings. The heel can slide out, the toe can slide forward or backwards. You can go all the way in, so you have almost like any size boot. You can move this forward and or move it all the way back depending on your boot size.
Yeah.
So it's really adjustable. It says medium, large, extra large. One size fits all. It really works with everybody.
Yeah.
And you can really dial out your boot to this binding and have it fit in perfectly centered. Therefore, you just slap the binding on with the discs this way on the board and you're centered. And then you can slide it this way to get like infinite stance width adjustability too. And speaking of that, in terms of stance width, so check this out. It has even more stance width adjustability than the Union mini discs.
Oh.
That's so cool. And all these little holes, so you really got a lot of sliding power. And it's a bigger disc. It definitely peaks out around that disc. So you're seeing different sizes. Both are Burton channel compatible, so that's pretty cool. So I really like this. The ratchet system, you know,
that's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Very smooth. And usually when I get back on Unions,
I just think that this system where they meet in the middle, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work long term, but
yeah,
you know, those slide into each other. I don't know how you feel about that, but
you know, I don't know. And I do
see a close-up look at it.
I hate when it's all sticking out, and I hate the companies that say, find your right boot, you know, fit it right on your boot one time and then cut it off.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'd rather have it all crammed in here
that's
and
true.
ugly than cut off. But yeah, it seems a little messy, but it's definitely not a deal breaker because it seems like it could go.
Definitely not a deal breaker.
It can go all the way in.
That's how.
And this could ratchet all the way down. But these ratchets are pretty smooth, and I love how they have this little thing here. You can just, you know,
when you're real angry.
Yeah, yeah, and which I always am. And these bindings feel really light with nothing on them.
They were light.
But no, even like this, it doesn't feel like it's much heavier. You know, they feel pretty close. The boot support, this toe strap I felt was great. It never came loose. It
was awesome. That was my favorite part about them, actually.
Yeah, this soft grip leather, I could see after 100 days this almost disappearing.
Yeah.
And then I wonder what happens next, you know? But
it was comfy.
Yeah.
Very comfy.
Very comfy. It really conformed over the toe and really pulled you in to this heel loop. And then this felt like it gripped the back of your boot, this like EVA foam on the back, really well. Here's the weird thing. Normally with an ankle strap like this, I like the freedom of movement, but I hate being in uneven snow and having such little support. But it felt like it was placed just right, and I don't know why.
Adjust it, right?
Yeah, I think you can.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe.
You might be able to put it up one and get, instead of lower, more freestyle, get it up higher and more support. But I felt like it had enough support, and we were riding in a lot of uneven snow that day.
Yeah.
And usually that really bothers me, and I feel like my ankle's folding over when we're going through, like
Sure.
with the old super thin Union straps. But something's working here, and I don't know why. But it's got good boot support and great freedom of movement. Comfort's great. I just didn't feel like a single pressure point or bit of weirdness. And then the turn initiation I felt was fast. I paired this up against the Strata, but it felt even more responsive than the Stratus, didn't it?
Yeah, I would concur with that, and I think that this little cup has something to do with it as well too.
Yeah.
At least makes you think you're a little more secure, I felt.
Yeah, maybe that it is, you know?
Kinda like the
it's
old
like that.
Melodias.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they still make one.
One
Yeah,
set.
there's like
That
one
was
color
interesting.
that has the darn thing has wings.
Yeah.
I thought it was a step up from the Strata. I'm kind of almost there with the Atlas.
Yeah. As
I'm,
far as response.
you know, yeah, I really thought that would have been the matchup. Buttering though, I felt it was on par or even better than the Strata. And you can see when the base plate is all put together, like when the base plate isn't, you can see what's going on here. You even got a little rubber to kind of, you know, dampen and maybe just reduce, maybe just help the board flex a little bit better underfoot. And shock absorption.
The snow that we were riding was just, it was terrible. I mean, it was just chopped up chunder.
Yeah.
And it plowed right through.
Yeah. All in all, this binding really impressed me. And I'm not 100% sure on just this whole toolless removal and how long it'll last.
There's a lot of adjustability. Yeah, I think long term it'd be hard to say.
But it might be worth it if you just constantly want to tweak and get different parts and kind of interchange.
Yeah,
And
and they market it not to use the high back too.
Yeah,
I mean, his bindings kind of speak to how he rides, the versatility. If you watch that Brandomius series that he had on Transworld, these are just like how he rides in those.
So there you go, the SwitchBack Haldor.